Nu Skin Enterprises has a tradition of innovation. Our anti-aging focus has continuously led us to seek out new partners to help us in fighting the war against aging. Most recently, we have identified and entered into a partnership with LifeGen Technologies to win this war against aging. We partner with LifeGen Technologies because this is a company that was founded by two of the foremost scientists in age research. Professor Weindrich and Professor Tom Proller, they both have spent close to 30 years combined in understanding the genetic basis of aging. Professor Weindrich and Proller's work has been cited time and time again by other well-known scientists who use their work to conduct new studies in aging.
LifeGen was started based on our base initial patent, which is a method to measure the aging process using gene expression profiles. As a result of our technology, we have identified a very critical set of genes, which we call aging supermarkers.
We now have tools which can tell us which particular ways that cells work are affected by the dietary intervention that we are examining.
Together, these discoveries allow us to develop a process or a method to locate and identify age-related genes very quickly and very accurately.
We can examine the entire genome at once. That allows us to tell for each particular tissue, for example, the heart, the brain, muscle, which particular pattern of genes leads to aging or modulates the aging process. So it allows us to get a global view that you cannot get by focusing on single genes. Other companies may focus on one gene, one pathway, and how a single compound impacts that pathway. With our technology, we can measure how combinations of nutrients impact several pathways related to aging at the same time. So this is an enormous advantage in our ability to monitor the aging process and to design interventions.
We are in the midst of conducting some very exciting experiments, and we have a plan which we have carefully conceived in collaboration with our colleagues at Nu Skin, and we are very excited to continue to carry out that plan and bring a new generation of dietary supplements which will have a very solid scientific backing.
Nu Skin scientists, along with its partners like LifeGen Technologies, are working hard to keep ageLOC science on the cutting edge so that we remain the premier anti-aging company in the world.
We are now able to define and to develop products that can address the sources of aging.
This is providing an opportunity to really translate our basic research findings into improved human health really on a worldwide basis.
Professor Weindrich continues to be consulted by any news media who wishes to sort of have an understanding of aging. Every time where there is a breaking news on recent research on aging, Rick is asked to comment on the importance or the impact of such research. 60 Minutes, the Fountain of Youth segment that they had a few years ago, Rick was interviewed. CBS News about caloric restriction, eating less, living longer. Rick was asked to comment on his research. CNN, again, Sanjay Gupta interviewed Rick when they wanted to talk about unlocking the secrets of youth and how he has managed to study over the last 30 years caloric restriction in monkeys. Charlie Rose Show, The Science of Living Longer, Dr. Rick Weindrich was asked, how can a person live longer? Time and time again, Dr. Weindrich has been used as a media consultant because he has the credibility. In fact, in aging research, I would imagine, I would actually posit to you that Dr. Weinrich is even more credible than Dr. Oz. These are sort of third-party credibility in life-gene technology.
With Drs. Weindruck, Prola, and Barger, learning about their unique approach to anti-aging. Now, Dr. Prola, do you remember what it was that you shared with us that impressed us so much that day?
Well, first of all, I want to say that it was very clear at that meeting that there was a very high level of excitement, that the new skin team had really got it. You guys could understand the importance of this genetic approach to aging. So we also realized that Nu Skin had the depth of knowledge, the scientific knowledge that would make this collaboration very effective and meaningful. So there was a lot of excitement about what we could do together. And the main idea was really to merge our technologies, to use things such as gene chips and the information from the human genome with information on nutrition, such as caloric restriction, how it retards aging, how individual ingredients may retard the aging process. So we felt that together we had found a way to use all this information from the human genome and genomics to apply it to human health. So this is how we came up with our strategy, to use gene expression to usually measure youthfulness so that we can define the young state at the gene expression level and use that information to actually change the aging process.
I understand, Dr. Prola, that you have over 100 scientific publications in scientific journals, and your colleague Dr. Weindruck over 300. Now, for most of our scientists, that's astounding. But give the people here in the audience today a sense for what that really represents.
Yes, well, even publishing a single scientific paper takes months of effort, sometimes more than a year of effort. So these papers that you mentioned really represent my and Rick Weindruck's lifelong research efforts, which has been entirely focused on understanding the molecular basis of aging.
Now, your technology allows you to identify compounds that target aging at its source, the gene expression level. Would you please provide us with more detail on what you see about your technique that sets it apart?
Well, our technology has several key aspects, but one of the most important ones is that we're trying to identify genes that play a universal role in aging. So by universal, what I mean is that these genes are really relevant across different ethnicities, across different ages, and also across different genders. So this is important because we want to develop products that will address the aging needs of the majority of people. We don't want products that are just going to target a small subset of people. So in other words, these products represent the entire genome, all of our genes. So we have this patented technology that allows us to screen the entire genome and identify which genes are important for aging specific tissues. We call these genes aging supermarkers because they're universal. And we can use these supermarkers of aging to find out how individual ingredients impact the aging process. As you may imagine, these experiments where we're looking at more than 20 or 40,000 genes generate an enormous amount of data. And to be able to analyze this, we actually had to develop a second resource, which is an aging database. It's the largest database of its kind, and it contains all the genetic information from all the experiments we have performed so far, and all the experiments we perform as part of our partnership in the future. So we can quickly access such database to find key information on aging-related genes and how they're impacted. In fact, Scott is going to talk a little bit about how we use this to analyze mitochondrial patterns of gene expression.
Now, I know that this screening technique saves a lot of time. Could you just give us a little more detail on exactly how much time it saves?
Right, so because we have already identified these markers of aging, we can perform screening tests that allows us to test compounds in a matter of months. So in months we can come up with new formulations. This compares to the old technology where you had to do this over years or sometimes even decades. So we have really gained a lot in terms of our ability to come up with formulations very quickly. And again, this is a technology exclusive to LifeGen and through our partnership to Nu Skin.
Right, so it's really putting us years ahead of the competition with this exciting screening. Now, I know that I am personally really excited about the research that we're doing together, and I'm very proud of the products that we're developing based on our partnership, especially our ageLOC Vitality we're having the opportunity to launch here at this convention. Now, Tom, would you please share with us how you see our partnership?
Yes, so we are very excited about our partnership with Nu Skin. As I said when I talked to Joe, we're very impressed by the scientific excellency of the Nu Skin team. And we think the key aspect of this partnership is that we bring the genetic knowledge, the methods to use gene-based screens to identify compounds. But Nu Skin PharmaNex brings in the knowledge, the accumulated knowledge that you have on the individual ingredients and how to formulate them. So together, we are able to screen a number of unique compounds and generate data that will be translated into exclusive products that will really benefit consumers. I'm really excited about taking these products myself. And I'm very happy to be here for the launch of our first joint product, Vitality.
I hope you get a sense here, and this is really why instead of just having one scientist come here today, that we actually invited the core innovation team to give you a sense that it takes more than just one scientist, but that it takes multiple scientists and even a collaboration with scientists that offer expertise. So at Nu Skin we realized we didn't have all of the resources that we needed. We needed a partner that understood gerontology and genetics and was able to put those together. So I think a big take-home here is that LifeGen Technologies, with their technology, is able to measure for the first time the aging process at the genetic level. And that was very key. That enabled us then to be able to screen nutritional ingredients, and a lot of that expertise can come from Nu Skin, who really are experts in nutrition and plant ingredients that can help there. And you better believe we had a list of ingredients that was burning a hole in our lab books. So in this technology, it's really been able to drive our innovation and our product development to areas that we've never been able to go before. So thanks again.